Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm very glad you stopped by. Because today I'm so excited. I am a Disney stan. I love Disney World, I love Disney Channel, I love Disney themed anything, especially when it comes to like Disney princesses. Mickey Mouse is cute and all, but the Disney princesses are like it for me. They really do that for me deep in my soul. They really hit the feels for my childhood. And today we're gonna go way back. In fact, all the way back to 1959. And we're gonna review the Bésame Cosmetics Sleeping Beauty Collection. I'm so beyond excited. And if you're just as excited as I am about this collection and you want to see what this palette looks like, swatches like, performs like, and what else I got from the collection, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Oh, I'm so excited! This collection is iconic, and I am just over the moon. First of all, I've got to give a huge shout out to Trend Mood, aka Sophie. I'll link her Instagram down below if you don't know who she is, but she pretty much links any popular or new releases, and she a lot of the time even releases stuff before a brand does. She's like the cosmetic leaking Instagram, if you will. Anyway, she's the only reason that I knew about this collection or even about this brand. I had never heard of the brand Bésame Cosmetics, and I'm so happy to have found them because they are such an iconic style. It's very retro, very 50s glam, and I love that. I think that is so cool. Needless to say, that led me to purchasing this collection. Well, not the full collection. I got the collector's edition eyeshadow palette that came in the little carrying case box thing. It was a $10 difference between the palette or the palette with the display case, so I chose the display case. I needed to. I just thought this would be absolutely beautiful, and eventually behind me I would like to put up some of my collector's boxes or like PR boxes, those types of things. One day, eventually. For now, it will just be collectors sitting somewhere beautiful. And I also got one blush and one lipstick. I'm gonna go over everything that I got in detail so you can know pricing and the information on the products. I just wanted to kind of give you a rough preview of what I did get. I also got this Besame Bugle, which is like their newspaper if you order something, I guess. They actually have a storefront, which I think is really awesome. It's a really small brand as far as I was aware, and to have a storefront as a small brand is a really big accomplishment in my opinion. Anyway, this is the Bésame Bugle where it has the actual collection and it gives the details about it. I'm not gonna read this whole thing. I'll read from the website, but this is very lengthy. But it just shows kind of what went into it and how it actually links back to the real Disney movie. And it tells a little bit about how Gabriela Hernandez, the owner of the brand, got access to the Disney archives to be able to duplicate the palette to look just like the book that is in Sleeping Beauty. Just the time and detail that went into this, that's what means so much to me and makes this such an awesome collection, because it's actually true. It's true to the movie. It's not just a rough depiction of it to make money. It seems like it actually means something, and that's what I love about it. I think that's the way every collaboration should be. And their actual Besame boutique is in Burbank, California. The actual storefront. If I ever go to when I go to California, I will be visiting this store. I need to. Oh, and they have classes and demonstrations and store specials. Ugh. This is so exciting. Okay, I'm done being extra. Well, no, I'm not. Now, the first thing I would like to go over and show you guys is the Sleeping Beauty eyeshadow palette. This is technically called the 1959 eyeshadow palette, and because this one was with the collectible display case, it was $78 versus $68, which just the eyeshadow palette is $68. Now, that's a lot more than most eyeshadow palettes on the market. I know that. So this is going to be a very specific collector's eyeshadow palette, and I'm perfectly happy supporting the cause for a Disney collaboration. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the description of the palette on the Bésame Cosmetics website, and while I read the description, I will insert little snippets of showing you what the palette looks like so we can kind of cut some time out and save a little bit. Why we made it. Our 1959 Sleeping Beauty eyeshadow palette features 20 matte eyeshadows that are matched to the original Disney ink and paint department colors used in the classic film Disney Sleeping Beauty. The cover is a true match to the famous book at the beginning of the film, and Bésame Cosmetics founder Gabriela Hernandez was invited back to the Disney archives to study the original book cover and match the metallic finish and jewel tones to be true to life. A range of colors from pretty pinks, soft greens, beautiful blues, and luxurious neutrals are a part of this perfect palette. An accompanying page serves as a guide to the actual colors used in the movie and how to get a look inspired by Aurora or Maleficent. These highly pigmented shadows are soft, blendable, buildable, and long-lasting, true to Bésame Cosmetics luxury quality you know and trust. As always, this product and all of our products are cruelty-free and made in the USA. This limited edition licensed palette is also paraben and gluten-free. Now, we all know at this point that I'm really excited about this collection and that I am also really excited about this palette and that I love the way this palette looks because it looks like a book. But also what I think is really, really cool is the fact that they went into the archives to figure out what exact colors were used in the movie Sleeping Beauty so that they could make this palette true to tone. And you can see that in the pages of the book, it shows literally which shade to use to create Aurora and to create Maleficent. It literally picks it out, shows you how they got the colors, why they got them, why they put them in there. This is what a collaboration palette should be, in my opinion. If you weren't sure this palette was beautiful before, are you sure now? Because I'm more sure now that this palette is more beautiful than it was 5 seconds ago. Speaking of a more beautiful palette, we are going to swatch this beautiful book. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in. The first shade is Gray Pink. Gray Blue, sorry. I don't know why I said Gray Pink. Oh, I was looking at Gray Pink when I said Gray Blue. Wow, very buildable. This shade is Gray Pink. Then the shade Rose. Then the shade Coral. These are obviously not named off of what they look like. But I would bet you in Disney animations, there's probably like 80,000 different corals. And then the shade Adobe. Now each of these shades have numbers after them. I don't know if they're relevant to the shade name specifically, or if maybe that's just what Disney calls the shade. But just so you know, there are numbers underneath the shades. Next is Blush. Then the shade 89343. The shade Dust. Eight nine three three nine. And then the shade White 106. Oh, I said the number. Haha. Definitely not white. That's really pretty though. and then white 107. So it actually is important to say the numbers, because I could just say white and that's 2 shades now. Then the shade Beat. Then the shade Royal. That is my kind of shade right there. The shade 89396. The shade 89348. And the shade 89349. And then 89350. Plum 107. Eight, 9, 3, 5, 2. Ooh, that one's really pretty too. And the very last shade is 89353. And this is all 20 shades of the 1959 Sleeping Beauty palette from Bésame Cosmetics. And of course, as always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here. And one without flash here. And of course I have to give you a video of the swatches as well, so you can see close up and true to tone exactly what we're working with here. Caution, there may be the tiniest bit of staining. These fingers are a little red, but not this one. Now I did notice this time, but not up until now, that there are no metallics in this palette, which makes sense, because why would Disney ever color with a metallic? They wouldn't. That doesn't make sense. So, there are no metallic shades in here, which personally, being a matte fan like I am, I'm not too opposed to that. But we are probably gonna need a topper just to put on the lid. So I'm gonna use my Classy Cake Cosmetics custom 9-pan palette, because that will definitely give me the shine and metallic fire that I need to finish off any look. If you haven't seen the review of Classy Cake Cosmetics yet, I will link it in a card right up here, so you can go check it out if you want to. It was actually a really great video, and I did an all shimmer look, and now it's time for a mostly matte look, and I'm so stoked. And before I go in with any of the other products and go over those, I am gonna go ahead and get the eye look going and get it done so that we can just be ready to move into everything else. I'm gonna start by priming my eyes with my MAC paint pot in the shade Soft Ochre. You know, I also ordered the mirror with this collection, which is iconic. It is so beautiful. It was like one of the main things that drew me to this collection. However, today is Saturday for me at the time I'm filming this video, and the mirror won't be in until Monday because it was in a separate order, and I really wanted to film this video now because I was so excited. But I will use the mirror in upcoming videos, so you'll still get to see it, and I'll let you know that it was to this collection. I just didn't have it this time, which is a bummer, but it's okay. I have everything else that I got. Alright, my liquid eyeshadow is now blended out. Did you know that's what Paint Pot is a liquid eyeshadow? Or that's what it says on Mac's website anyway. Now to decide what I'm going to do with my book. I don't know why I love it that this looks like a book. I feel like all my palettes should be books and they should be on a bookshelf. Do you read books anymore? Leave me a comment down below. I don't. I have books, but I don't really read them anymore. Just this one. I think I might do more of a Maleficent type look using the tones that are in her little diagram here. I really like the purple that her eyeshadow is, like the purple around her green eyes up here. I also like color of her staff. And I like the purple that her cloak is. Her lips are a pretty color too. Oh, who am I kidding? So are her eyes. Or I could go the opposite route and go with Aurora instead. I wonder why Maleficent didn't get a little cutout for herself and Aurora did. Oh well. This is all brown and pink and yellow, red. Okay, I lied. I think I am gonna go with Aurora. Yep, I'm going with Aurora. We're gonna choose Aurora-y colors. Now it shows her brows are with the shade Dust 107. So sounds like I'm gonna be using this palette for my brows as well, which makes me kind of happy, actually. Shows her iris is Gray Blue 104. So maybe I'll use that on the lid. And then it shows her lids are Rose 105. Her skin is Coral 102, lips are Blush 105, and crown and necklace are the shade 89339, and her hair is 89343. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shades. I think I'm gonna try and find a way to incorporate all 7 shades of Aurora into my eye look, because I think it's really cool that these are true to Disney color. I think it would be cool if I used every color that they used on Aurora. So what I'm gonna do first is use my Morphe R37 big fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Coral 102, which is Aurora's skin color. And with this, I'm going to start applying it in the crease and pretty much all over, because I want that to be my transition shade and almost to act as my skin tone on my eyes, if that makes sense. I am really sad I'm not holding a Sleeping Beauty mirror right now. That would just be the most iconic. But that's okay. Soon enough. Soon enough. You know, Aurora was pretty medium skin tone because the shade I'm using right now is kind of medium. She looked like a pretty pale princess to me on Sleeping Beauty. So far, based on Bésame Cosmetics' formula for their eyeshadow, it feels nice. It feels really, really soft and blendable. It's not the creamiest matte I've ever used, but sometimes creamy mattes don't blend very well at all. So I think I accidentally touched into the shade Rose, which was right beside Coral. So I'm gonna do that on this eye as well, because now this eye looks a little rosy, and I didn't mean to do that. Oh yeah, I definitely did. I can see the rosy tone on the other side now. Okay, fixed that. Now I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M514 and I'm gonna go into the Rose 105 shade. It's the shade that's on Aurora's eyes currently in this picture. Apparently it's the color of her eyes when she's in the peasant costume, is what it says. It has like a little index here of when each character has which shade on them during the movie, which is just so cool. I mean, you could literally watch Sleeping Beauty and have this index in front of you and be able to call out the color that's on the screen. Oh, it's actually gray pink, not rose, sorry. Gray pink 109, that's the shade I'm going into. It's a little bit more of a pinky tone instead of the deeper, rosier, ashy tone. And I'm gonna use this around the edges of Coral to give it a little more of a pink vibe. Instead of that dusty rose, it'll be more of a rosy rose with still just a little bit more dust. If that makes sense. And I'm just gonna lightly blend out Coral with that. And see already how much it just warms it up, takes it more to that pink level. Love that. Now just gonna blend out the edge of it, make sure that it's really soft and smooth. Now I've gotta say, the only thing that I'm not liking about how this palette is made thus far is for this reason. I can't sit the palette down on the table in front of me without having to hold this back to be able to use it inside of the pans of the palette. I feel like if I had the capability of like popping this out, like if it was magnetic inside there, and I could just pop it out and use this on the vanity, that would be perfect. Because I wouldn't mind taking this with me as the book and then being able to just pop that out and use it like that. It's collector's, it's meant to be like closed and on the little cushion thingy stand, whatever. I get that. I know it's not meant to be. It would just be nice if it was. It would just be convenient. Do I look like Briar Rose now? I do like how soft that is. It is very soft and rosy. It looks very natural on me. Maybe I was born with it. And maybe it's Besame. I have now finished adding the shade Gray Pink 109 to the upper crease area. Then I went to sleep and woke up, and then went to sleep again and then woke up again, and this is now 2 days later. I was actually trying to wait until the mirror came in to try and finish this video, but it turns out I got sent back to the USPS sorting facility and has to be sent back to me, so I gave up waiting again, and now we're starting here again. I did go ahead and get the look back to where it was when I stopped, so we're gonna go ahead and continue from that point. Now I've been kind of enjoying this whole dusty rose vibe we have going on, but I feel like I'm missing just a little bit of color. I don't want to add too much because I'm kind of liking the feel of this look. It's giving me sort of that natural beauty vibe, but I have to add some color, and it's gonna be Beat 105. That is the lightest pink in the palette, and it's actually the pink dress that Aurora gets for her birthday. You know the scene in the movie whenever the fairies are like, make it blue, make it pink, make it blue, make it pink. It's the pink that that dress turns into. You have no idea how happy it makes me to reference a shade and be able to use it as a movie reference. Specifically a Disney movie reference. It's just so cool and iconic. Okay, now I'm gonna use the Morphe M456 for the shade Beat 105, and I am essentially going to surround everything that I've done so far with this shade so that it will be blown out with pink. Oh, I went way too high up. Oh well. What's done is done. We'll figure out some way to deal with it. Wow, I really brought that very high up there, didn't I? But it's so pretty. It's really nice too because this pink blends into the other rosy, dusty tones beautifully because they're made up of the same types of undertones. Do you see that? Do you see how that just fades perfect into that? Ugh, love that. What I love about this palette is there are so many different directions I can go. You can go pink, you can go green, you can go gray, you can go purple, and I didn't realize it just because I hadn't thought about the functionality of the mirror inside the palette, but whenever you hold the palette up to do your makeup, it looks like you're reading Sleeping Beauty, and that's adorable.
I know you, I've walked with you once upon a dream. I know you, the gleam in your eyes is so familiar a gleam.
Beautiful. I have pink for sure now. Now I'm just gonna go back in with the Morphe M514 into the shade Gray Pink and blend Beat into Gray Pink, just to make sure it's seamless. Now I'm just gonna take a clean synthetic brush. This one is the Morphe M453, and I'm gonna go around all of the edges of the shades I've used and just blend them out to make sure that none of them have any harsh lines while I read my book. This is so pretty. I really like this. Now on Aurora's lips, it shows that she has the shade Blush 105. So I think that's what I'm gonna use as mainly my lid. I'm gonna kind of condense it down to the outer lid first, and then maybe I'll use a little bit lighter color toward the inner lid. Don't know yet, but I'm gonna start with the Blush 105 shade, and I'm gonna use the Morphe M513 with that, and I'm just going to start applying that right on the outer lid. Wow, that's a really pretty color. I'm noticing that these more intense shades build up very nicely. They don't start super saturated or anything, but they do build up to be very saturated. I mean, you can see this is essentially 2 applications on this side, and then this one is the 3rd. So it builds for sure. The only thing I wish there really was in this palette, like the only thing that I would actually change, is I wish there was a white, like a matte white. But of course, they're not gonna use a matte white at Disney. They're just gonna not color that part of the paper. So I guess it makes sense for there not to be a matte white. I need one. Is I'm gonna go into my Classic Cake Cosmetics 9-pan custom palette. I'm gonna pick the shade Nona right here, because that is, I feel like, literally the perfect type tone for this look. I think it's gonna be perfect. But first, I'm gonna go back in with my Morphe M514 and just clean up these edges of Beat just a little bit so there's no harsh lines anymore. There we go. And now, time for some shimmer. We're gonna use the Morphe M124 flat packing brush and go into the shade Nona. And I'm just gonna start applying that right in the inner corner. Okay, but seriously, why is this the same shade? That's amazing. What are the chances of that? This is so pretty. I really, really like that. It's got just enough shimmer in it to add just a little oomph to the look, but it's not so overpowering that it's taking away from the color and the shadow that I've already laid down. I love it. I think this is so far so fantastic. Kind of living for it a little bit. Now the last thing I like to do to the eye is take my Colourpop Super Shock Shadow from the Disney collection called Hi Ho. Not like that, but like Hi Ho. Hi Ho. And with my Morphe M416, I'm gonna go in with this right on the inner corner. Hi ho. Hi ho, it's off to work we go. That is a gorgeous shade. Okay, and I'm also gonna add a little bit of that to the brow bone. And of course, this shade is kind of gonna get covered up whenever I go in with concealer on my under eyes and get in like this area. So I'll have to go back in with it, but for now, at least, I can see what it's gonna look like, and some of it'll stay there. See, this would also be the perfect opportunity to have a matte white. Okay, so I realized that I look slightly ridiculous right now, but what I've kind of learned whenever it comes to Super Shock shadows or any super shimmery white shade, you can actually go in with a matte color shadow that you like and blend it into the shimmery shade, and the white changes to the pinky shade or whatever shade you pick. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go back into the shade Beat 105 because that was the bright pink that I used on the upper crease. And what should happen is I should be able to take it right up here, start blending it into that silvery white, which should start turning slightly pink. Oh, look at that. We have shimmery pink. Boom. Just made a pink shadow when I didn't even have one. So there's your little trick. If you ever have any all matte palettes and you still want to use one of the shades in the palette as your highlight shade, and just find a white or a silver and put a color on top of it. I think it works best with Super Shocks though, because Super Shocks are just such a creamy, beautiful texture. And you don't have to necessarily use the shade Hi Ho. You can really use any shade you'd like. Just Hi Ho is one of my favorite shades, plus it comes from the Disney collection, so it's even more appropriate to use. I mean, Sleeping Beauty and Hi Ho, why not? Okay, moving on. Now obviously I can't kiss the prince with my complexion like this, so I'm gonna need to go in with some foundation, concealer, bronzer, contour, the whole shebang before we can make it that far, and before we can add some shadow on our lower lash line from this beautiful palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up all my complexion products off camera, and I will be right back to finish up the look. So I'll see you in just a second. So I had a momentary lapse in my brain capability, obviously. I actually finished my entire face of makeup, set it with powder, everything. I mean, I was done, ready to go. And then I remembered that I had a cream blush to use. I know. Anyway, I took it all off and started again, and now we are to the point where I have no powder on my face. My concealer, cream, bronzer, and foundation are all blended out and ready for a cream blush. So, our next product is the Sleeping Beauty 1959 collection Locket Cream Rouge. Yes, I said Locket Cream Rouge. Now, there was also a blush palette that I did not get because I chose this instead because I thought this concept was really neat. The box looks just like the palette box, and then if we open it, it opens up to the actual locket, and it is a tiny little metal cast book. That is a locket. You have the locket chain, and if we take it out, it actually looks kind of rose gold. We have the little clasp, and it can literally go on your neck, and is that not the most beautiful thing you have ever seen? It is to me anyway. And then on the back it has Aurora's head, and then when you open it, oh no, I just stuck my nail and my finger into it. I'm so sad. Well, I'll smooth it out in just a second. But there's the rouge that I just demolished, and there's the shade on my thumb. No, but you can see, there's the cream rouge. I just think that is so cool. If you ever need to touch up your rouge, or maybe dab it on your lips even at some point during the day, you just open your little locket around your neck and touch up your rouge. Now this Locket Cream Rouge was $18, and on the description on the website it says, "This special collectible locket is a true treasure for any princess. Moi." The locket is a rose gold plated necklace that hangs gracefully around your neck, displaying a double-sided embossed storybook pendant. One side shows the front of the book with the Sleeping Beauty original 1959 logo, while the other side shows the silhouette of Princess Aurora. Clasped with a magnet closer, the inside of the locket reveals a round well of cream rouge. Once the product has been completely used, this necklace can be worn as a locket, and the rouge can easily be replaced by a small photo of someone dear to your heart. Isn't that beautiful? The cream rouge is a Besame's signature formula of concentrated color and comes in a natural pinky rose shade that complements any skin tone. Our non-greasy, lightweight but lasting cream rouge formula is easier to blend than many powder blushes and gives a soft, velvety finish. Can be applied easily with the fingertips or your favorite makeup sponge. This highly pigmented rouge is versatile. It can be used for not only a fresh, sheer, healthy looking lift on the cheeks, but can also be worn on the lips for a matching lightweight glow, while keeping the lips moisturized just in case you're waiting for true love's kiss. As always, this product and all of our products are cruelty free, made in the USA. Limited edition, blah 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 blah. That was super cute. Okay, so I'm gonna use the little bit of cream rouge on my thumb here, and I'm just going to start to apply it with my finger because my sponge, since I did my makeup twice, is pretty soaked at this point. Okay, I definitely know that little dot is not going to be enough. That is a really pretty color though. It honestly, it looks almost just like the eyeshadow that I've done because it's kind of that same rosy tone. I mean, it's Aurora's blush. What else would it be? Let me open her up here and grab some more without dropping it everywhere. Okay, so this time I'm just gonna lightly take my finger into it. I was really hoping that I could maybe blend out the nail gash that I put in it, but it's gonna take a little more dipping into for that to happen. It's so tiny though. I know you've seen them for a really long time now, but please excuse my gross nails at the moment. I had acrylics for way too many times in a row, and I'm trying to let them breathe and become strong again, but they're not very strong right now. They're kind of gross right now. Ugh, look at that. That literally looks like I just have a flushed cheek. I like that a lot. Could you imagine this rouge on top of just bare skin with no foundation or anything, just barely patting it over your skin? Because this is that like NARS blush shade. It's that kind of pinky flush tone. Okay, I feel like the blush is built up just enough. Sorry, rouge. I feel like the rouge is built up just enough. So I'm gonna put my locket over here for safekeeping. Face is now powdered, so that means everything to do with complexion is now done because we have our rouge applied and it's just that nice rosy glow and kinda living, okay? Kinda living. Now we need to finish off the lower lash line. So I'm gonna go back into my storybook and we're gonna find a lower lash line shade. I think I wanna stick with the whole pink, ashy, rosy red. So for this next part, I would normally use a flat brush, like just flat, one of the like bigger wide ones, but I can't find my Morphe flat brush, so we're gonna have to improvise. So instead I'm gonna use my Morphe M326, which is this tiny little shader brush, but it's small and thin enough that it should work the way I need it to. What I'm gonna do is go into the shade 89396. That is the, I think, most vibrant pinky red in here. And I'm going to tightline my lower lash line as close to my lash line as possible. This is just so bright that I don't want to bring it down very low because my crease is already blown out enough with that pink red color. So we're gonna try not to intensify that if we can help it. If I do, I'll just say I meant to do it that way. Okay, well I've made the thinnest line that I can possibly make with that brush. So it's pretty good, it's pretty thin. Now I'm gonna use the Morphe M562. It's a really long blending brush, but it's super small. And now I'm gonna go into gray pink again. Ooh, no I'm not. No I'm not, no I'm not. Actually, I'm gonna go into Adobe instead. Gray pink is just too pink still, I think, so I feel like if I would have used that, I would have ended up getting all the pink down below anyway, and I don't want it to be as pink. And now, we're just gonna blend out that pink that's right against my lower lash line. Oh, I love that. Adobe is like my skin tone, so it just smokes it out just enough. Okay, I think that's really, really pretty. I like that. It's soft and subtle and it looks good. Very Briar Rose-like. Okay, I'm very happy with that blend. I really like how that kind of tied everything together and finished off that line nicely. Now I just need to apply mascara and some eyeliner and then we can come back to finish off the face. So give me just a second, I'll be right back. Mascara, eyeliner, and highlighter is now applied. Mascara, I used Too Faced Better Than Sex, which for me is my most natural looking mascara, and that's kind of the vibe I want to go for today. I would have gone, if I would have had it, for an eyeliner that was a little more on like the rosy nude side, like a pinky nude, but I used my Colourpop cream gel liner in the shade Honey Dude, which is like a nude. It's a light tan, peachy nude. And my highlighter, I used the Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlighter, 321B. Anyway, that stuff is irrelevant because our next Besame 1959 Sleeping Beauty Collection product is the Make It Blue, Make It Pink lipstick. And this product is $24. This, I think, is what I was the most excited about, except for the eyeshadow palette and the rouge. Yeah, I was excited about it all, really. But this is really, really cool also. Let me read the description, I'll show it to you. Inspired by the iconic dress-changing scene of the 1959 film, this lipstick brings the magic of the three fairies to your vanity. Though this lipstick appears, I have to show you, blue, once applied, it will magically change to pink right before your eyes. This color-changing lipstick becomes a cool pink shade that adjusts to your lips' personal pH for your own signature pink shade. Anywhere from a lighter rose pink to a darker magenta, perfectly complementing your skin tone. This sheer lipstick formula is hydrating and infused with vitamins and oils for healthy, moisturized lips. Flavored to taste like the delicious forest berries gathered by Briar Rose. Encased in a rose gold metal tube inspired by vintage lipsticks of the 1940s and decorated with Disney film artwork of beautiful roses and the original 1959 film logo. This lipstick is truly a keepsake, the perfect item for any vanity or collection. They made this so well. All of this stuff, they made it so well. It's just so awesome. Okay, I'm excited to see what this actually looks like. So we know it's blue. We can see it's blue. And it says Besame on it. The fact that this is color changing from this blue to the pink that the dress is, that's so iconic. I feel like that's something only Besame Cosmetics could do and could do right. Wow. It's so cool. It's weird. It even shows up on the lipstick pink after it like applies, I guess. The shape is very odd for me. Okay, well, that's really, really cool, and I really like that. I think that is just very, very neat. Okay, this is the final look. This is everything all together and the entire collection that I got used here today. Now, the only things that I didn't get were the blush palette, which there was a palette that contained multiple blushes rather than just the locket. I just thought the locket was a really cool keepsake, and I thought I would cherish it a little bit more. The blush palette was $35, and it had the blush and highlight that Aurora wore and the blush and highlight that Maleficent wore. Not necessarily wore, but what tones would go with them for highlight and blush. There was also another lipstick, and it was called Sleeping Beauty Pink, and I believe that was the pink whenever she was actually sleeping. There was also a pressed translucent powder and another lipstick shade in the shade Maleficent. And of course, there's the mirror as well. You will see that later in some other video. That one was $58. And you could also get the entire collection in a bundle at a discounted rate for $269. And you can get the mirror and non-collector's edition palette in a bundle for $126. And with that, that concludes this entire review. What did you guys think? Do you like the products? Do you think it's worth it? For me, based on the eyeshadow palette review part of it myself, I would say that to invest in this palette, you have to know going into it that this is a collector's palette. It's a collector's collection, honestly. In my own opinion, if you were a working makeup artist that wanted to buy this rouge, this lipstick, and this palette just to use on clients, it wouldn't be worth what you would pay for it, because you're not going to enjoy it for the fact of what it is. Now, if you are a fan of Disney and you like collaborations and you love Disney princesses and Sleeping Beauty and you love when a brand takes the time and dedication to research and get it right and make it mean something, then yeah. This collaboration's for you, and you'll enjoy it, and you'll understand that the price behind it reflects what time and effort and quality was spent on it. Even though this palette has no shimmers in it, because it is a replica of the book in Sleeping Beauty, and because it's the shades that Disney themselves used on the characters, I would have paid more than what it was. I couldn't have, but I would have. You get the idea. Anyway, guys, that concludes this video and my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It does let me know that you like my videos and that you like my content, and it helps other people see my videos. If you want to see this look or more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this, and that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.